Track Wrestling with Raymond Bunker, aka Ray Bunker, aka Bunk Dog. That's your nickname. How'd you get that nickname?
So I'm a scrappy kind of guy, and I'm in the Marine Corp. So like one day my captain just came up to me and called me Bunk Dog, and from there I kind of rolled with it instead of taking it as an insult, and it grew on me. So next thing you know, I have everyone call me Bunk Dog. So that's how it went.
Yeah, because called you Raymond, and they were laughing at that. So it must be sticking here in the Greco program.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about your upbringing. You grew up in Chicago. What was that like growing up in Chicago? What kind of adversity did you face?
So I was bullied in Chicago. I was a short, stocky kid because I liked to eat. I lived in mainly a Hispanic community, and I didn't have any interest in wrestling or fighting, but I kind of got forced into it. It was either you learn how to fight or you just get beat up every day. So I was never really into wrestling, and I went to high school, started wrestling in high school. Didn't do anything until my senior year. I made it downstate in Illinois and took third. I lost to Zane Richards. He's on the freestyle national team, good guy. From there I joined the Marine Corp, and then I went to Okinawa, Japan, and Coach Lukitas recruited me to the All-Marine Wrestling team, and from there, the last 3 years, I learned what Greco was, and this year we're on the world team, so we're ready to fight.
Okay, so let's go way back. So when was your first time you actually competed in wrestling? What was the
first time?
Yeah.
Freshman year of high school. Nope, actually 5th grade.
Okay.
5th grade. I wrestled a match, and I was getting crossface, and I bit the guy. Because I didn't know how to defend a crossface. So then the referee looked at the kid's arm, and the kid was screaming, and I got up right away and said, I didn't bite him. It wasn't me, I didn't bite him. And right there I was guilty, and then the kid's dad went to my dad and said, do not feed your son. And then from there I was done wrestling. So then I started in high school.
Okay. So just getting bullied and that environment, is it something did you fight a lot, or you wanted to get out of it? What was the dynamic like growing up in Chicago?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it never happened again. My little sister, she's a blessing. She used to stick up for me at the bus stop. I just, didn't want to get bullied anymore. That was the main thing. So it was either get tough or get picked on. And from there, we just ran with it. And, wrestling's addicting. It's in my blood. It's the reason I wake up in the morning. So, yeah.
Was school hard?
School was difficult for me. Yeah, I would say.
Just getting through grades, was it just tough to keep focused?
Well, I learned with sports, you make friends, and those friends have your back, and then you just you network that way. There's more people that like you, the better off you are, and with not getting bullied and stuff like that. So getting bullied was a big part of my upbringing all the way up until about sophomore year of high school, and then the wrestling thing, people just kind of left me alone.
Did you find your identity then in the sport? Was that something that just took you to the next level?
Yeah, I would say I didn't really care about wrestling until my junior year of high school, where I missed going downstate, and then a fire got lit underneath me, and I trained every day that summer with Team Overtime, with Ed Geezy, Sean Bourmet, John Kading, Kerry Bowmans, can't forget any of those great coaches. And they pushed me, and I trained every day, and then that was it. That was the spark, and I knew wrestling was my thing.
Tell me about your mom, what she means.
Yeah, my mom, well, I come from an Italian family. My last name's Bunker, but my mom's 100% Italian, and we're really close. She used to drive me all the way to Overtime, and I just wanted to show her that this journey isn't over, and there's a lot to accomplish, and I do it for her. I just want her to know that she didn't waste her time with me, and she's always been my #1 supporter through getting bullied, through whatever. I have a great mom. Right now she has lymphoma cancer, so we're kind of dealing with that as a family, and the wrestling thing is definitely helping her out with her spirit. And I want to show her that, her son's a fighter, but so is she. I get that from my mom. So we're going to beat that, and hopefully we're going to do really good at the Worlds this year.
Is she going to be able to make it?
She is not.
She's not?
No, but she'll be watching. She'll be out there watching.
So as far as just getting into Greco, what was it about Greco that you liked that was maybe different than freestyle or folk style?
The thing I liked about Greco was, at first, the first Greco practice I had with the Marines, they said, hey, we don't wrestle freestyle, we wrestle Greco. So I was a little, trying to figure out what Greco was, and I saw everyone getting thrown, and I got thrown a lot, and I didn't know if it was for me, but we stuck with it. Just wrestling Greco, you get to fight more. You don't have to worry about someone grabbing your legs and holding on. You can throw hands and you can get in there and kind of like you're sticking up to a bully, you're hitting them and you're just bashing heads and you're making it a war. So that's what I like about Greco is the physical part of Greco.
What do you like about the Marine Corps?
The Marine Corps, I just like the brotherhood, and I love shooting rifles and just doing all the hard stuff, waking up at 4:30, just whatever it is, like the challenge. We never know with the Marine Corps, it's always something different. And at any given day, you can be anywhere in the world. The Marines are first to fight, and I'd say the main thing about the Marine Corps is the history. I love the history of the Marine Corps. I love what my brothers and sisters in the past did. Just the history is amazing. The smallest branch.
What's more difficult, Greco-Roman or the Marine Corps? What's the degree of difficulty between those two? They're both tough.
There's a balance, There are things in the Marine Corps that other Marines do that, I can't do. And I'm sure there's things that they can't do with Greco. So it goes back and forth, but they're both very difficult. And I can't say one's harder than the other because I wouldn't say that about those guys because those guys train very hard at what they do. So just having both together is very difficult, but one or the other, they're both, right there at the top.
So you got to have confidence now. You talk about getting bullied, you're in the Marine Corps, you're on a Greco-Roman world team. You got to have a lot of confidence right now.
Yes, yeah. I'd say the main thing is just believing in yourself, I've always believed in myself. There's been times where I would lose all my practice matches, go out there and win the US Open. Like, I've lost a lot in practice this year, and I'm just not afraid to take risk in practice. And when we get to the tournament, I have a game plan, and I haven't lost a Greco-Roman match this year in the United States. So yeah, just having that confidence is huge.
What do you like to do when you're not wrestling or part of the Marine Corps? You have any hobbies?
Yeah, I like to eat. I like to chow with Rao. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. I like to eat. I like to go to the movies, throw axes. Axe throwing is pretty cool.
Where do you do that? Talk about the axe throwing.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
So I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and there's a place called Flippin' Axe. And we go there, and it's a World Axe Throwing League. I'm not in the league, but I go occasionally in practice. I coach youth wrestling at Beastworks in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I try to stay involved with the community, go to the beach, hang out with friends that are wrestlers and stuff like that. So I just like to be around wrestling and the people that share the same interests as I do.
Ray Bunker, thanks for the time. All the best at the 2019 Worlds.
Thank you, appreciate it.